Defying the odds. What does it mean to defy the odds? In my own personal view, it is overcoming the challenges which we meet in life. It is pursuing our goals so that we reach greater heights. It is taking on the hardships so that we reach our ultimate motives and working our abilities to the maximum. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about defying the odds, and we'll hear inspiring stories and get motivated by these personal experiences. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Reality Podcast, and I'm your host, Mr. Alex Dande. Welcome back to the Reality Podcast, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm your host, Mr. Alex Dande. And as I mentioned earlier, today we're going to talk about defying the odds, which is a great topic for us to discuss because we are the youth. As we are the youth, we face many difficulties in our transition into adulthood. Therefore, we have to defy all the odds placed towards us by life or circumstances. Today I'm going to be joined by Mr. Arnold Mushinye, who is going to give us the importance of defying the odds and give us his experiences when he faced the odds placed towards him. Mr. Mushinye, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, sir.
It's an honor. So, Mr. Mushinye, I would like you to introduce yourself to the audience. What do you do and how can you best define what is defying the odds?
Okay, thank you for having me once again, sir.
It's all right.
Okay, my name is Arnold Mushinye. I am a student at the University of Zimbabwe, and I'm currently studying my Bachelor of Arts in Disaster Risk Management.
Okay. Can you tell us a bit about the degree?
Okay, so Disaster Risk Management is a degree that mainly focuses on disasters. Because as you are seeing this world right now, there are a lot of disasters that the world is facing. So we are here as disaster managers in order to manage the risks of the disasters. Mm-hmm. Okay, basically that's all. So when we are talking about defining odds, we grow up from different backgrounds, right?
Yes.
And basically my definition of odds, of defining odds, is doing something that is deemed impossible by the society. Mainly because our society is mainly stereotypical.
Okay.
Just to mention by a few, growing up from the ghetto, people have a view that you are not supposed to achieve anything, especially when you have failed your Form 4. People will view you as a drug addict or someone who is going to be a touter in the streets.
Just because you failed your O-levels?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Basically, that's also.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's about doing the impossible.
Yeah, that's
it's about challenging the environment, what people say about you.
Yeah, that's very true.
And I think that's very true because a lot of times people put limitations on you.
Yeah.
Saying that you can't do this.
Yes.
You can't do this because you come from a certain background. You can't do this because you don't have this so and so on amount of money. But I'm very sure that if you believe in yourself, you can defy all the odds.
That's very true.
Because odds are there to be challenged, because challenges are there to be overcome.
Yes.
That's what I believe. If I didn't have the motivation or the inspiration to defy the odds, I wouldn't be here. We would be here sitting today talking about defying the odds, because I'm very sure that a lot of people don't want to see us here. A lot of people want us to fail. We have circumstances that can almost limit us, but we have to take a step further into doing what you want. That's why I like this topic so much.
So profound.
Thank you, man. Okay. Moving on. Can you tell us a personal story on which fits into this criteria of defying the odds?
Okay. So I would like to say my story, but because of time, it will even take a whole book for me to explain it. So I'm going to tell you something about this lady, Oprah Winfrey.
Okay.
I read the story this other day, and I heard that she grew up with a single mom.
Right.
Her mom was a housekeeper, and she could do housekeeping duties, and she would only be left alone at home.
Okay.
You understand? So, judging from her background, you can see that a lot of people didn't expect anything good from her. She was even abused by some of her relatives.
Oh, shame.
But to cut this story short, Oprah Winfrey is one of the 62 or 67 female billionaires in the world. That's 3% of billionaires in the world. Why? Because she was able to defy the odds, no matter the background. Her mom was a housekeeper. She grew up from what we call Kujecha in Shona, right? But if you look at her now, she's someone that we can look up to. She's our role model. Then again, we can look at Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, do you know, he didn't start by becoming a basketball player. Do you know, he was tall, but he was not that tall. Right, but I heard that he had to do pulling exercises so that he could fit in his university basketball team.
Okay.
You see, so this is quite an example of people who were able to defy odds, and these are people that we look up to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, they had to put in the work to get where they are.
Yeah, that's very true, sir.
That's very inspiring. You speak about those foreign people who have achieved much. Can you tell us about the local people as an example of the people who have defied the odds? Do you have any idea of those people?
Okay, I heard the story of Scott Sapkwanya,
Okay.
the one who is into God.
Okay.
I heard that he was a garden cleaner for Macmillan.
Wow.
But if you look at him today, he's so rich. He even managed to bring Mayweather in Zimbabwe.
That was very impressive. I remember the days.
Yeah. But judging from his background, he's someone that is great today because he was able to defy odds. And I want to say this to our audience. No matter where you come from, whether you come from the shackles, whether you come from the ground, that must not limit you to achieve what you want.
I actually believe in that.
Because growing up, we had that and I was asking myself, what is this thing? And that is something, that is the gift we all carry.
We have a gift.
Everyone has a gift.
Okay.
But it takes a nation to raise a child.
Yes.
So which means, again, you have to be around people who are gifted in order to notice your gift.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that point you are raising. You're talking about having gifts, everyone being born with the gifts.
Yeah.
And sometimes as we grow, we want to pursue our gifts, and those are maybe talents or dreams, but we then face these challenges along the way. And these are the odds which you're talking about today. So basically, when you have a dream or have a gift or talent, you'd want to pursue it, right?
That's very true.
Which means that you have to identify your passions.
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you think one best can identify their passion and then work towards those passions?
Yeah, that's a difficult question. I don't want to lie. Okay, you see, there are schools like Eucharist.
Okay.
Do you know, in schools like Jack and Jill, that kindergarten school?
Right.
Do you know, though our parents growing up, of course, we couldn't afford those schools, right? But our parents would say, no, those schools prioritize sports more than education. But that's actually a good thing. Why? Because it's not everyone that is good at school. You know, some people are good at soccer. Some people are good at football. That American football. Some people are good at wrestling. Some people are good at singing.
Yeah.
But now, I mentioned earlier about the stereotypical thinking of our society, that everyone thinks everyone must have a degree in order to be someone in life. That is very wrong, sir.
Okay.
So, in order for someone to identify talent, now this takes parents in the community. You know, growing up, we would play what we call worship in the streets. So, you know, and I also heard that is where our Musonas were discovered, playing football in the streets, and someone was able to identify, no, there is talent. So it takes a nation to raise a child. It takes a community to raise a child. There are people in the street right now. We have Willard Katsande. And he is from Sakuva, right? So is it Willard Katsande, or I'm forgetting the name of this guy who is called Bossy Amboka. But you know, that guy grew up from the ghetto. And right now he's bringing it back to the ghetto again. He also has a tournament that he holds every year in December where he's identifying talent. So we need to have more of talent observers in the community. People who will be there to identify, no, this one is good at singing. This one is good at doing this. So I think basically to identify talent, we need talent observers.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
So basically the community or the observers can help us identify the odds by first identifying the what we are passionate about, because they can help us. Maybe they have the financial muscle, or maybe they have the resources which can help us propel us further. So I think we are very right about that.
That is very true.
Okay, moving on. There are some limitations which we meet along the way when we are trying to defy the odds.
That's very
because maybe sometimes you face a backlash from people. Maybe sometimes you face people who don't believe in you. So you end up having self-doubt and having some sort of negativity talk towards yourself. So it can hinder you from achieving your goals or actually defying those goals. So I believe that self-negative talk is bad, and having a crooked image about yourself is bad. So how best can you shape yourself or your character so that you can actually defy the odds? Tell us.
Okay. You know, everyone is self-doubt.
Okay.
I think in the percentage of this whole world, there are only a few people who are, who are so proud of themselves, people who are not embarrassed of themselves. You know, I mentioned earlier the thing that some people come from the ghetto. Some people, they wear those clothes that do not fit anyway amongst the people. So, you know, that's one thing that people are afraid of. But now I want to tell people, don't mind about your background. Don't mind about what you are wearing. The best version of yourself is you. You know, there's this song song by Leo Wayne which said, "Happened to you." You know, he talks about something and he says, Godanzi, even if you fall down today, you can raise up tomorrow. You have to grow through what you go through.
Yes.
Right? So, people are not supposed to doubt themselves. So sometimes you need to look at in the mirror and say, no, you are the best.
Yes.
You are the best singer.
Positive affirmations.
Yeah, you need to have those affirmations every day. When you wake up, you look at the mirror and say, no, I am the best version of myself. I am the best at doing this. I'm the best at... You know, the moment when you have when you empower yourself, because you don't expect me to empower you when you are embarrassed of yourself.
Already, yeah.
And so, as you wake up in the morning, say, I'm going to be the next billionaire. I'm going to be the next millionaire. So, we need to have these self-affirmations to the youth, especially those who are still young. They need to have confidence in themselves. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, and I believe you are very right, because doubt will always be there. They always exist because we are humans after all.
That's very true.
Humans work by what they see, and sometimes what we see can usually demotivate us. But if you have passion for something, if you want to reach something or achieve something in life, you have to look beyond what you're seeing at that present moment. Be someone who sees the light when there's darkness, because by focusing on the negatives, you can never see the positive in something. That mindset can help you defy the odds. That mindset can help you to make a way when there's no way. You can actually achieve more when you have a good mindset about yourself. Tell yourself, as Mr. Mushinye is saying, that you are great. Tell yourself every day that you can do this. Tell yourself every day that you can actually achieve more.
That's very true.
Don't wait for people to tell you that you can't do this. Don't wait for people to put negativity on you, because they don't know you. They don't know what you hold in your hand, as Mr. Mushinye said. He said that we have gifts in our hand. So it is up to you to wake up each day and you have to hustle for what you want, grind for what you want, achieve what you want, because at the end of the day, your life depends on you. People may motivate you, people may push you, but there's a limit. So you have to be there for yourself and have that self-confidence in you in order to defy the odds. I hope you're all following what I'm saying here. What do you have to say? Okay, you spoke about having the community around you, because they can actually propel you further. And I actually believe that the support system around you should be there to help you defy the odds around you. So what do you think about the support system which people have today, and how best they can utilize it to help them propel further?
What can I say? Basically speaking, this is speaking from my own story.
Okay.
You know, as I said something about the ghetto, you know, people right now are not willing to support people.
Yes,
Why?
that's
Because
very true.
we are having people right now instead of lifting you up, they're going to bring you down.
That's very true.
So I wouldn't say that the community will lift someone up, especially in this day. I wouldn't say that. Why? Because if someone was to do something today, let's say you start singing today, how many people will support you from your area?
Very few.
You see, right?
Yes.
So we don't have the support. There was a moment when Jesus said that a prophet has no honor in his own home. that was very true.
That was very true. Yeah.
The people who are around you, they are the ones who usually don't support you.
Yes.
So the community now, we need to have community development groups. We also have those in disaster management, right?
Yes.
But now we need to have community development groups. My sister works at the Ministry of Youth, and they are also there at nurturing the youth. They have these programs whereby they take people, right? They do activities every day, and this is also helping to nurture talent. But I think mainly our society has been ruined from the start, especially as black people. I really need to say this.
Yes.
Especially as black people, we don't support talent.
We don't want to uplift each other.
We don't want. I don't know. Maybe we have a syndrome. It's a problem that I have not since when I grew up. A lot of people are not willing to support. It's people, especially this. If you see Jesus himself saying, "No, a prophet has no honor in his seat," because Jesus had to return to his seat, right? Then people say, no, we saw him growing up. He's the child of Mary. He's the child of the carpenter. So when you start singing today, or let's say you are going to be a preacher, like people will say, no, we saw him. He was doing a lot of girl things.
It's just Arnold.
Yeah, he's just playing. People will not support you. They'll just say, no, we saw him. No, we saw him. No, we saw him. No. So the community need to be taught. The community need to be taught on how to support talent. Right? That's it.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe out there the people who are there to pull each others down whenever they get the chance. I don't think it's actually helping each other by doing that. I think maybe it's a syndrome, as you say. It's a problem that we have.
That's
People
right.
get jealous of each other. Instead, we should be helping each other build more. Because when we are united, we can actually defy the odds. We can overcome poverty in our communities. Because imagine if you can support me. Imagine if you can help me build something from the ground. If I get successful, I can actually help you one day. Because invested in me. Investing doesn't mean that you're always giving me financial money or you're always giving me clothes to wear or whatever. But being there for someone or giving support to someone can actually help someone to defy the odds. Because sometimes as humans, we need a push. Sometimes as humans, we need that thoughtful word from someone so that we can support each other. Whether it's a stranger or whether it's someone whom you don't know, inspire them to keep going on. Inspire them to keep pushing so that they can reach greater heights. You can have someone in a community and not be able to support them. And then someone else from afar comes and support that person. Won't you feel ashamed about that? Because someone from afar has come along to help a person who you know, who is closer to you, but you fail to support them. That should tell you that you should help someone who is in need if they are close to you. Let's support each other. Do what we can do best, because you never know tomorrow. Tomorrow I might need you. Tomorrow you might need me. So I urge you guys, as well, the youth who are growing up, let's keep supporting each other. I think that is something which I hold dear, because if you don't help each other as the youth,
That's very true.
we will be a generation which will be messed up.
That's very true.
Okay, by sharing in an inspiring story myself, I want to say something about defying the odds. As I started this project, I want to say something. I faced a lot of challenges. Okay, sometimes I would meet people who would say, I want to give you a helping hand. But when you contacted them, they would disappear.
Yeah,
But you wonder, what is happening? That is now a challenge. I had to put up the small equipment that I have in order to be here, because I'm still a student, right? I have not much money to myself, but I have to work with what I have. That is how I can define the odds, in order to prove that you can do it, right? So with the time, I realized that if I can work with what I have, I can actually defy the odds.
That's very true.
Because people want to wait for a magical moment where they have everything. But if they can work with what they have at that moment, they can defy the odds. Yes. What do you think about that?
You know, when I first heard about your program, I think we're still at school.
Okay.
I think the previous semester.
Yes.
Then I think I messaged you and I said, no, bro, you're doing a good thing. Why? Because with this equipment that you have,
yes,
and this initiative that you are doing, you are inspiring a lot of people. I always tell people that it's not about the views.
Okay.
It's not about the comments, right?
Yes.
Of course, some people will say YouTube pays, but you are not doing it for YouTube.
Yes. Yes.
You are doing this thing in order to support a youth, to support a girl child, to support a boy child. You see? So, the one thing that I admire about you, you really need to push. Yes. Because starting from this is a small thing. Maybe tomorrow you grow great. Yeah. And you need to also mind some people who come in late and say, we helped you with this thing. But because that's what people always do.
Okay.
Sometimes when you grow big, that's when some people would want now to be invited.
Yes.
And say, no, we helped you, we liked your video. We were the first to subscribe to your channel. So people need to know that you were able to defy what?
The odds.
The odds.
Yes.
Some people, of course, they would look at you down and say, no, look at what he's doing. What is he getting out of it? But at the end of the day, it's not about what you are getting out of it. It's what the people are getting out of the show.
Yes.
There's this show that you did, and I think it inspired me.
Okay.
You see, listening there, to tell the truth, I almost finished all of your shows. I'm
happy to hear that.
And okay. Being able to watch somebody of my same age who is doing something that is so inspiring, who is doing something that a lot of people out there are not willing to do, is something that is inspiring. And I think one day maybe you'll go down in history and people will say, no, there was this guy who did this podcast and he was telling something about it like this. Maybe perhaps you grow like into a big talk show. Yes. Perhaps you have a spot on ZBC. Yes. It's something that you should aim for in the future in order to defy odds. And later on in the future, when people look at you, they'll look at you as an icon. Yes. No, because the importance of defining odds, right, is that you are able to lift up someone. The moment when you hear the story of Michael Jordan, the moment when you hear the story of Eminem, right, you are able to push. Why? Because that person was able to defy the stereotypical thinking of the society.
Yes.
Right.
It was tough.
It was very tough.
Yes.
So perhaps someday people will look at you and say, no, look at this guy. He did this. And it will make someone to even push more and do something like this also.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to hear that. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Thank you.
I like what you mentioned about uplifting each other. We have the girl child in our societies, and oftentimes they're overlooked. They are told that they can't do this or they can't achieve this. Yeah. But I'm very sure that there are initiatives called empowering the girl child, because sometimes we measure. Sometimes intelligence or abilities is measured according to gender, which is sometimes not fair. Yeah, because I believe some girl child out there is brighter. So I'm very sure that every girl child out there, if they can put in the work, they can defy the odds. Because true. You spoke about Oprah Winfrey. Yeah. We got that famous tennis player. I forgot her name. Serena Williams.
Serena Williams, yeah.
Yeah. She's one of the best athletes out there.
Yeah, that's very
There
true.
are so many good singers out there, female singers.
And I also heard that Eminem, there is this documentary that I saw, and they were saying that his mother was a drug addict, but the mother didn't agree at all. But Eminem, I was told that he had to repeat. I don't know, I don't still remember the grade, but there was a grade which he had to repeat 3 times. Then he had to drop out. Do you know in America, rape battles is something for the black children. It's a black culture. But he was able to defy the odds and started to do rape battles. And right now he's the greatest of all time.
Yeah, I actually agree with that, because if you can see the issue of Eminem, it was that time of when racism was at its peak.
Yeah, that's very true.
Because sometimes you would get overlooked at because he was white.
Yeah.
And sometimes he will not be welcome in the black society.
That's
but
very
still he managed to do his best and defy the odds. Man, I love this story very much.
It's so profound.
It's so profound.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you think are the qualities one should have to defy the odds? Because we are humans after all. We have to have qualities or requirements for us to defy the odds.
Okay, so in order to defy the odds,
Yes.
one has to have a strong character.
Strong character.
When I say a strong character, I mean a character that is not shaken by what people say. One has to have perseverance,
Yes.
which is something that a lot of people lack. Perseverance.
People quit.
People quit. You know, no matter the situation, no matter the troubles, you need to push. You know, the story of Noah. We are being taught that God is making rain to rain on it because he wants to destroy it. Then now we have the boat. The boat is carrying people, but the flood is there to destroy. But amidst the flood was carrying a boat. So, you know, whatever you go through is what raises you to become great.
Okay, that's what actually helped.
It's actually helped to ferry the people in the boat. So whatever you go through is what makes you to become great.
Basically, challenges can actually shape you.
Yeah, they can elevate you.
Okay.
They can strengthen you.
Okay.
You don't expect to become a billionaire when you are failing a frizzy business.
Okay, that's very true, because I believe that challenges are there to help us. Let us not see challenges as obstacles or things which can hinder us from our progress.
That's true.
But actually learning points or checkpoints towards our success.
Yeah, they are actual learning points.
Actually, I agree with that.
Because without a lesson,
yeah.
let's say today you were having a business, then you run a loss. Maybe let's say it's a small business, then you run a loss. It's there to nurture you. At the moment when you become a millionaire and run a loss, you probably die. Why? Because you didn't learn from the past. But someone who is coming from small, that person has a lot of knowledge.
Yes.
That's it.
Okay. I actually agree with that, because I believe that when you actually build yourself up by challenging yourself and doing what others are not willing to do, you actually become resilient, or you gain that ability to persevere.
That's very true.
So that when challenges later come along, you can actually face them than that person who actually found themselves in success.
That's very true. I think I also left out something.
Yes.
You need to have a praying culture.
Prayerful culture.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why? Because God, being God alone, He knows what He installed in you.
Yes.
And mainly nowadays, people are not praying. And this is why we are having a lot of failed destinies. So one needs to pray and ask God, why did you create me? You know, every day I always ask myself this: what is my purpose here on earth? Because most obviously, God didn't create me just to live and finish all the oxygen and die. There's actually a purpose for me.
Yes.
So you need to know your purpose. You need to pray and ask God, what is my purpose? So you cannot defy odds without knowing your purpose.
Yes.
You know, we have a lot of wannabe singers. Do you know a lot of danzo, chandas? Those guys, actually, most of them, they are not good singers. They are people who are just singing for the sake of singing. That's why you are hearing a lot of bubblegum music. You can listen to it today. Then after 2 days, it's no longer a banger.
Okay.
Why? Because there are just people who are pushing where they are not supposed to be. And one thing, bro, you need to have people around you. You know, for you to be in a business, you need an invitation.
Yes.
You know, this is something that I would want to have a whole day to explain about. There are things that we call invitation. That's how the system was created. You need to be invited. If you take a look at, is it Elisha from the Bible? He had to go through Elijah. And he had to wait for Elijah to drop a mantle for him. That was an invitation in the realm. So if you see someone who is into real estate today, you can follow him around. Then by following him, he's imparting you something. That is what we call an invitation. So you need to have profound people around you. Jesus said, two blind people cannot lead each other. You don't expect to become great when you hang out with guys who do mutoriro. For you to be great, you need to hang around great people. Do you know, if I see you today, let's say with who? Let's say with someone that you admire a lot.
In terms of local or
A local.
I admire I actually admire Walitane in Takura
What
and
did
Box.
But now I want you to pick someone who is so profound, someone who is into business.
Okay, there's Mr. Soy Masio. I like this story very much.
So if I'm going to see you with Save Masiwa today,
Yes.
imagine you're walking around UZ campus and you're with Save Masiwa. Do you know the moment when he leaves you, do you know a lot of people will come to you, even people who are into business, they will ask you, say, what are you doing into business? Why?
Yeah.
Because him, by working with you alone, he has invited you into a certain realm.
Yeah.
So people need to normalize hanging around people who matter.
Okay, I actually remember Nasisi on this song. He actually said, you can as you can actually change the atmosphere with just my name. And I
That's
was like,
very true. There are people who matter. There are some people that when you mention them around people,
yeah.
they will begin to listen to you.
Yeah.
You know, so this culture of hanging out with most important people who are profound is something that is worth it. Why? Because we all need to be invited. That invitation is something that's matter. So in order for someone to defy odds, you need to hang around people who matter. Right?
Yes, you can't please everyone, and you can't be around everyone. Be equipped with the soldiers which can help you. Even when it's hard, be with those people, because they will be there in your corner no matter when you reach hardships or when you reach success. They'll be there and they'll be true to you. Whether they are friends, whether they are family, be around them. Never leave them around. Okay. What else do you think are the good characters which one should have?
Okay, one of the good characters one should have, one should be, what can I say? Be able to accept failure. Don't be quick to quit. So when you fail, take it as a learning curve. So that's another quality. You need to have that character which is not willing to take a defeat as a defeat. Because if everyone who is great today, if they were able to accept defeat at an early stage, then most probably we wouldn't be having billionaires.
Yes.
But we had people who are strong, people who were able to say, no, today I failed. It doesn't mean that tomorrow I'm not going to rise. Yeah,
I actually believe that failures should not be taken in the literal sense. You should actually work towards what you want. Do not take failures as something which can hinder you from achieving greatness, but rather detours which can actually divert you somewhere else. Because when something is hard, I say to you, that's good, because it's actually challenging abilities. Therefore, work towards achieving greatness. Man, I love this topic. I have to repeat it, okay? It actually inspires me, because as I'm sitting here, I'm actually inspiring someone out there to reach greater heights.
That's very true.
To work towards what they thought they could achieve.
That's very true.
Someone out there is sitting and be like, oh no man, I can't start this business. I can't do this. But because I'm sitting right here, I can actually tell you that it's possible. I'm not being a motivational speaker, but I'm actually telling you from experience. There are some things which I thought I could never do. But if you can only put your mind into it, if you can only put in the work, you can actually achieve whatever you want. No matter what people say, no matter what the circumstances are towards you, you can do it. I assure you that.
That's so profound.
Yes. Okay, so what are your final words of inspiration to others? What can you say to one who's watching, to our audience?
Okay. So to everyone who's watching,
Yes.
I want to encourage everyone to put in the work.
Yes.
Don't just sit. Don't just sit. We have a lot of people who have talent, but there are some girls who can sing actually, but they are busy making noise for us in the bathrooms.
They're making noise in the bathroom,
but not going out there.
They're superstars in the bathroom.
Superstars in the bathroom.
Out there.
Yeah. So I need to encourage everyone.
Yes.
Whatever talent you are sitting on,
Yes.
you need to stand up. Whatever it is, whether it's spoken word, whether it's poetry, whether it's dancing, whether it's gymnastics, whether it's those people who do flexibilities, what, you need to stand out.
Yes.
Why? Because we cannot notice you when you are behind doors.
Yes, that's very true.
In these days, we have an advantage of the internet.
Yeah.
We have TikTok.
Yeah.
You can just do your thing, and then you can see. Perhaps some promoter out there can take a look and say, no, this is good. This needs to be promoted. So I want to encourage everyone out there, don't sit on your talent.
Yes.
You need to take a stand.
Yes.
Even if people around you are fighting you, don't back down
Powerful.
because you are a soldier.
I like that. And one more thing, when it comes to defying the odds, you have to be confident about yourself. Believe in yourself that you can do it. Because, I would like to see more girls on this show. I would like to interview girls on this show. But I'm very sure most of them doubt themselves. They don't have the confidence. Don't look upon yourself down and say, I can't do this. Because I know that there are so many bright girls out there. But please, be available so that you can actually inspire other girls.
That's very true, sir.
Okay, I was able to help you today.
I thank you for putting and I need to encourage you. You need to put in the work. You need to work for this thing. This is going to be a great initiative.
I appreciate that.
Perhaps after 5 years, we are going to be up there and we are going to say, no, we learned with this guy. We saw him when he was still small, but right now he's big.
Yes, you have to have patience in order to defy the odds. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and that was me, Mr. Alex, and Mr. Arnold. Today we discussed about defying the odds. I hope you were all inspired and I hope you all know what to do now. Be someone who is resilient, be someone who can persevere, put God first and focus on what you can do best. Do not be limited by your environment. Do not be limited by what people say, because words and opinions will always remain words and opinions. But if you can believe in yourself, you can do great. Till next time, guys, and please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share the link to others. Share the link for this channel to others. Till next time, I love you guys.